Favorite line during events, rehearsals? Something screws up and the client says, it's not going to happen that way during the show, is it? Play the music.
Yeah. David, audio level low on the audio on the music.
Okay.
From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks. We'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with ease. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune.
We lost the audio.
That was me.
The Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth, keep the tech in check. In the Zoom Test Kitchen, we've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way. We're zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We've got your back, no wreck. We've got your back, no wreck. These lyrics capture the essence of what the Zoom Test Kitchen does, focusing on testing and teaching about Zoom functionalities in a fun, engaging way.
Well, hello everyone. Wait, it's not working. There it is. Hi. Why didn't no one came dressed up? You're supposed to wear your favorite avatar.
This is my favorite avatar. I take it with me every day.
You know what? You all stink. I don't even celebrate Halloween, and I'm the one doing it. Oh man. Hi everyone. Hey, you want to see a cool shirt?
Yeah.
Check this out.
Wow. How'd you get that?
Where'd I get this?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
I got this from Layman Creations. What's it?
You
Plug
did,
the
yeah.
website, Andy.
Laymancreations.com is my website, but merch.laymancreations is where you got that.
Hey, who do you use for these?
Fourth Wall.
Fourth Wall?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a really nice shirt.
Yeah, I liked it.
Like, it's really comfortable and...
Yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah. Cool. So, yeah. It's my layman's and your name and logo is like on the tag thing.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's pretty cool too.
Yeah. I put fourthwall.com there in the chat for
awesome.
anyone looking to start a shop like that.
Well, because I've used what did I use? I've used a couple different things. Oh wow, MKBHD uses this. Interesting.
And actually, Ecamm uses it for their merch store too.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I'll switch. Not that I have any merch, but maybe I'll switch over to this. Is it? Oh, it's not that bad. 0%, $0 if they just take their cut, I guess. And then
So you can just set your price above whatever it costs for their cut.
Right. Cool. All right. That's not Zoom, but thank you for the shirt, Andy. I was so excited when it came yesterday. I really was. Because I love the message. Created to create. Hey, Ray Franklin, how you doing?
I'm quite well. We're thawing out here in Central Florida. It got down to 52 this morning.
Oh, complain. It was lovely.
It's going to be a great week. This is what we call real estate week, weather. We say it's like this every day.
Really?
Buy our house.
Yeah, it is beautiful down here right now. Oh, God. Mike is in something. Mike, are you okay?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I got the memo. I saw the witch in the thumbnail.
I appreciate that. Hey, let me check real quick while we're introducing ourselves, because it's see, look at that son of a gun. I'm sending 720. Sorry, I'm still struggling.
Are you still sending 720?
So now I'm sending 720. Now I'm sending less than 720. Now I'm sending 720. I'm receiving 1080. I nuked my machine today. I erased the entire thing and started all over because I was still whatever. So now it's at 70%, my CPU. And ChatGPT tells me that's normal. It says that's not too high. If you're running Ecamm and Zoom and, Stream Deck, and you've got two cam links plugged in, and
yeah. So yeah, David, I can confirm. Yeah, you're only sending 720. So how are you routing the video now that you've done all the changes?
Same way.
So it's Ecamm?
Yep.
Into Zoom?
Yep.
Your video looks more in sync today, though.
I'll take it.
Yeah, actually it is. Actually does.
Oh my Lord, I can't win.
The only thing I would think is, again, I don't know Ecamm enough. Is it a virtual camera that you're using out to Zoom?
Yeah.
As Andy's nodding, Andy, is the settings for 720 versus 1080?
There's as long as I don't know that the settings affect the virtual camera. I know for recording and streaming it does, but I don't know about for the virtual camera.
Let's see.
Set it anyways. Would be my answer.
Yeah, set it up higher.
So actually, interesting. Because I had to reinstall everything, it was set to 720, which I didn't mean for it to be. So I just changed it to 1080. Let's see if that makes a difference. But it's stream size, so I wouldn't think it would, but it doesn't look like it did really. Now it's 630 or something. I don't know. 1120 by 630. In any case, my next move is, I have a Mac Mini, one of the new Mac Minis. My next move is to just swap out the studio for the Mac Mini and see if that makes a difference. Because on my, I'm going to spin up Ecamm. I'm going to spin up Zoom on this other machine. Now I don't have all the same stuff plugged in, but I'm curious what the activity monitor over here says. So I've got pretty much all the same stuff, not all plugged in, but all the same stuff working. Yeah, and like over here, Now, granted, I'm not in a meeting, but on this Mac, on my MacBook Pro, I'm only using not even 20% of my CPU. And on the Mac Studio, I'm using 71%. I mean, something's wrong. Something's definitely wrong. Okay. Maybe I'll swap out the Studio for the Mac Mini and see what happens. In any case, that's just frustrating. It's really, really frustrating. Okay then. Well, can you all I mean, is the stream terrible or is it look okay or?
Oh, as far as receiving your video, you're fine at
Yeah.
720.
It's okay? All right. Okay. I just wasn't sure. I don't want to make it a miserable experience for everyone. Hey, Tony, oh, where'd he go? There he is. Tony Mobley, how you doing?
I am good.
to see
I'm
you.
glad to be here.
Yeah, good to have you here. And yes, Andy, it is quiet today. I don't know why. Is
Everyone's out.
Is everyone out trick-or-treating? Is that what it is?
Probably.
No. Is there any Zoom news this week? I didn't
Well,
see
how is everybody enjoying the devil version?
the double version. What is that? I don't know what that means.
We are officially running 6.6.6.
6.6. Not 6.
Oh, 6.6.6. Oh, the devil. I thought you said the double version. Sorry. Okay, I'm with you now. I'm following you now. The double
Again.
version.
Showing my age, but that's fine. Yes.
No, I got you now. Wait, is that what I'm on too? Is that Mac also, or is that just
Should be officially everybody. Yes.
what? So that's it. Is it always that we're always caught up? Like we're always on the same, we're not always on the same number, are we?
No. Recently, you guys were a little separated from
yeah.
Windows.
Yeah.
And Linux was, again, they were popping over the last week or two. It was like you guys got it first, then Windows, they were thinking about it, then Linux, they did it, and then Windows all of a sudden it was supposed to happen on Sunday, but it actually happened on Monday. So
Linux, that's so cute. You think anyone uses Linux? I'm kidding. Mike, don't get angry.
Version 6.
I'm not.
Lots of people use Linux. Oh my goodness, it's Lois Richter.
Version 6.6.6.67 something.
0.6.6.6.
That's a good number.
That is a good number. You're absolutely right.
Happy Halloween for those of you who celebrate Halloween. I'm
Yeah.
not sure who all does and who all doesn't. I figure if you're Christian, you might or might not celebrate November 1st as All Saints Day. But you know, things get so commercialized. Hey Mike, I like your
whatever it is.
She likes
my
your whatever.
spectacular background. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Spooky tacular in the cemetery. Yeah.
Hey, Andy, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? What are you doing?
I know it's been a while since we've been on the show together. I'm doing good.
Good.
All right, I'm checking the activity.
Oh, forget David. He's always busy doing something else.
No, I'm running. Let me turn this up. I'm oh, for goodness sakes, come on. Oh, there's an update. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna swap out my machines, I think. You know what the issue is the system. The system is using way more than it should be using. All right, but that's neither here nor there. Sorry, I digress.
Does it have more things installed than the other?
Yeah.
So this is a Zoom meeting. Why don't
I know,
we
I know, I know. I'm
let
sorry.
let David work on that on his own? Because I mean, there's things you can do, but
I'm sorry. Jeesh.
my first thing to do is call Apple.
No, that's the last thing to do. Are you kidding me?
No, because then they
Call
can
Apple.
tell you what to check. Yeah.
No, 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 no,
That's
no.
one of the reasons for having an Apple is that you can call them and get help.
Oh goodness, no.
Okay, so
That doesn't
what
sound.
y'all
The
doing with
only time
Zoom these days?
the only time I needed to do that was when I spilled a whole cup of coffee right on my keyboard
I
and fried
remember that.
fried it. That was bad.
But didn't you know what to do? I
Yeah, I
mean, you
took
just
it to the Apple
unplug
store.
it, unplug the keyboard and run water through it for a while, then run distilled water through it and turn it upside down and let it dry out.
What?
Put it in rice.
That's not wrong. That's actually
That's,
perfect.
I
Actually,
mean,
I didn't trust
as
it
long
for
as you
I
don't let
didn't
it
trust it for
dry.
production. I
Yeah.
didn't trust it for production after that.
Okay. Yeah. So swap it out with a different one. Yeah.
I did. That's what Apple cares for.
yeah, Lois was very specific. The important part that she said about that was, first of all, the water got whatever remnants of the coffee or whatever was off,
Mhm.
but the distilled water was the important part.
Yep. And living in California helps because it's so dry that things dry out really quickly. Hey, there's John Edelson. John Edelson.
How you doing, John?
Oh, he's
working
got
on
that.
his-
Oh, he disappeared. I
Yeah.
scared him
Yeah,
away.
he's got to flip his video and he'll come back to us here momentarily.
Hey, Tony. Long time no see. It was only last night, wasn't it?
That's right. That's right. It was only last night.
I'm being extra
David,
cheerful today because it's Halloween and we're going to need it.
I love it. I love
I'm
cheeriness.
curious, David, are you not using a computer as an appliance for Zoom Test Kitchen?
Well, yes, but well, not just for Zoom Test Kitchen, for streaming. I mean, I have this Mac Studio is all I use it for is Ecamm and Zoom. But the problem is that it also has to have the Stream Deck software. It also has to have my Casa, which is the lights software. It has to have Synergy so that I can use the mouse and keyboard on both. So there's a bunch of it has QCam on it because that's what I use for video pencil. So yes, I'm just using it for this, but this is not just one app. It's actually a bunch of things, and I've got so much crap plugged into it. I've got two powered hubs with, 2 cameras and the heck is this thing called? The Black Magic and the mic, the Rodecaster, and like there's just so much stuff plugged in that I think that it's just, I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna unplug all that stuff and plug it all into the Mac Mini, and we'll see. We'll see if that fixes it or not.
Okay. This is a Zoom. I won't say anything. Let's just talk about Zoom. I'm so excited about Zoom.
And I just want to say hi. I popped in with my camera on, which I normally don't do, and I'm going to pop off with it. But
no, don't pop.
Oh,
wait.
Okay.
That stuff behind you is reversed. Is it supposed to be?
So that's what I was telling you. It's not supposed to be, and I'm in the process of.
Well, not all of it is reversed. Some of it is straight.
No,
Yeah,
the whole
image is flipped.
Yeah, the image is flipped.
No, but look
you,
for his
you all
name.
passed the IQ test, so you.
His name is not flipped.
Yeah,
but
that's because I'm playing with another.
You've got multiple things, don't you?
His camera is mirrored, and then the overlays are just on top of it.
And
Why, John? Real quick, because in Zoom there's a mirror my camera feature, but that doesn't mirror it for anyone on the other end. It just mirrors it for you.
Yep.
So this must be like an OBS thing you're doing.
If I were doing this a normal way, now I've managed to freeze myself.
No,
that's
there
why
you go.
I didn't think I was. Yeah, that's why when I came on, I thought I was coming on without my camera on. I'm working with 3 different groups that are doing add-ons to in front of Zoom or behind Zoom, and what you just saw was in fact what David was saying in Zoom, if you mirror your video, all you're doing it for yourself, so you could read what you're doing. But it confuses people because when you don't mirror yourself, when you want to touch your right ear, but it's really your left ear, and so you get. So if you mirror yourself, then that takes care of it. But depending on the various plugins, so if you saw for a moment there, I went straight here, but my overlay went backwards
Your
because
overlay is
the
gone.
yeah, I took it off because it's going to be backwards because
Well,
that particular software uses the image that Zoom gives you, and the overlay overlays it on the unflipped image. So I could show you that. I guess
so
this is an educational moment. So
John?
notice now when I unfreeze, I look normal, but I
No,
assume my e name,
no,
my lower third and the time is
no.
backwards.
Yeah, no, that's not
Oh, it's
right.
right. It's
You're
correct.
backwards and your announcement thing, your add-ons are not. My
I
guess
mean, so the on
is
air isn't reading
is
properly to
that's
you?
backwards. Yes. So my
How?
guess is that you
No, no, I
have
know what
in
it is.
Zoom
No, I
flipped
know what
it.
it is. How about now?
It's backwards.
Still fit? Okay, so now I've got to go into another piece of software.
But John, isn't it the matter that you have it flipped in Zoom and then the Zoom output is being used by your next whatever
No,
it is, OBS or something?
Lois, I'm not using OBS. It's a nameless app that I'm working with,
Okay.
and that people are trying to play with it. And this is, but
Uh-huh.
now
So
I
now
should be
we see on air.
right. You see on air, but
Mhm.
I
And
can't use this
no
no lower
things down
third
here.
because the particular software that I'm playing with will not do that properly.
So
No
if
big
you
deal.
just went to Zoom and did not mirror yourself, would it fix everything?
If you just use Zoom in its purest form, now I'll unlock. If you use Zoom in its purest form, like pure maple syrup for our Canadian friends, it's the sweetest thing you can get.
Right.
It's only when you do strange things to it, and these other apps are not only doing strange things with graphics, it was doing different things with depth of field. It's going to be a very cool app when it comes out, but that's a little hiccup because it can't figure out which side it should be looking at.
But okay, my question still is it taking the Zoom video and then manipulating it? Or is it taking your camera video and then manipulating it?
Again, this is a product that I'm working with on an
Uh-huh.
NDA, so I could tell you it is doing a little bit of both.
Okay.
So the questions when you say is Zoom video, as the office hours people know here, you could have things like Zoom ISO. So is the Zoom video from Zoom ISO the ISO feed that's in Zoom ISO, or is the Zoom video the video that's in your current client? So there's no such thing as in the base form, you have your camera, your Zoom client, and that goes into Zoom and everybody's happy. There are other programs like Zoom ISO that you have that same camera, it goes into Zoom, but at another location or another system, you can take the ISO of that and the audio and do things to it. And then you could put that back into the system. I don't know if I explained it perfectly, but
That's very clear, except when I have told Zoom to to mirror my image, it is giving me here in my computer a different image than it's sending to the rest of the world. And what I
it's
don't
not giving
know,
you a different image. It's
yes.
taking your image and it's taking the image that you're feeding to the
Mhm.
Zoom cloud, but locally it is showing it as a flip. It's the
And
exact
so,
same image.
okay, so, but the question is, so I have, it may be the same image, but it looks different. So the way it looks on my screen and the way it looks on out there is is I'm going to call them two images because it makes more sense to me. Can my computer grab either of those images, or does it always get the one that's local to me, or does it always get the one that's going out? In other words, if I were just take and say, take me from from Zoom and put it into some other program and do something with it. In my case, it's OBS. Would it be grabbing the mirrored image or the image going out to the rest of the world?
The Zoom mirror
Here's Muddy.
function, yeah, if somebody else wants to take this on, fine. But in the Zoom client, when you flip the image, that flips the image that you'll see of yourself in the Zoom gallery, and that's all that it does. That there's no magic there. There are no other images. When it flips in Zoom, all that it does is in that particular square in the gallery, or if you pin it to yourself on your screen, you see it just flipped.
Mirrored, yeah. Hey, Muddy, I see your hand. Oh, he's walking.
All right, I'm muted because the welcoming committee dog patrol is on full alert. So I'll be back in just a moment when the dogs come.
And we all can ask the question, who let the dogs out?
Who?
The dogs let themselves out. Who? Well, no, Who is a little tiny stuffed owl in our house. And anytime somebody says, who knows, the other person says, yes, but he won't tell me.
No, who's on first?
What's on second? I don't know.
All right, I think they've calmed down enough. I was watching on YouTube, but I couldn't take it anymore. I had to come over
Hey,
because
Muddy.
there is actually something new, and it relates to Mirror My Video. So I was just doing a little instruction. I was just teaching a community about this Mirror My Video feature and the fact that it only affects you. That's what most people don't know that. And so so I was going into the settings and doing a screen share and showing here's what this setting does, here's what it means. I was holding up some visual words, some cards to show the impact of toggling this on and off. And here's what I discovered. In the latest version of Zoom, that toggle now says Mirror My Video Preview. For the life of Zoom, it has said Mirror My Video. But now it says Mirror My Video Preview to make it more clear that it's only the preview video that you are seeing that is impacted by that setting. And that's something brand new in this version that I noticed.
That
And doesn't make any sense. Preview? What preview? No, I'm just in a Zoom meeting. Where's my preview?
no, that absolutely makes sense.
I
Look at that.
Yeah, and
This,
I
and
guess
then there's
that,
a little,
I didn't
there's a
know
little
that has
info. There's an info next to it that says this setting only affects how you see your video.
Oh, that's good.
That's new.
Well,
Yeah.
Yep, and that's
Oh,
new as
Muddy,
well.
great find. That's
This
great.
is good to know, and actually that has a connection with what I'm playing with, because there is some confusion and there are some things that could go on, and exactly what happened here with when I did the overlay, what got flipped and what didn't flip. And then when you go to choose to share something on your screen and you want to make sure that what you're seeing is seen properly and what other people see properly. So they put it, that's in the new release. Okay. Are we on release? I won't even say the numbers. Did we skip it, or are we on release 6?
No, we're on it. We're on it.
We're on it. We won't talk about it. And it's Halloween. Come on.
All right, I'm packing to run an in-person event tomorrow. Remember those? They require lugging a whole lot of gear around. So I'm going back to YouTube, but thanks for letting me pop in.
Have
Always
fun.
great to see you.
Absolutely.
So, Lois, did that help?
No,
Here's
but
another
that's
way
okay.
to think about it. When you
It's
go,
okay. I don't need to know anything more than I know.
when you go up into your corner where you see all those little drop-down menus, of where the little square.
Are you
where it
talking about
says-
view?
Yeah, speaker,
Uh-huh.
gallery, multi-view.
Yeah.
See where it says self-view?
Hide self view. Yeah.
So self view is sort of like your preview. And so
Self
some
view is
people
my square on the screen.
self view is you in the Zoom client and you
Mm-hmm.
don't see it. Everybody else sees it. So some people who get self-conscious when they see themselves on the video, or have the same reaction that I have when I look in a mirror is, am I really looking that old? You could put self view on, and then you don't have to be looking at your, in my case, old body every day when I'm on Zoom. But when the self view is off and you want to see things properly on your screen with right to left and left to right, you can mirror your video. And depending on how you do it, it may make things look strange. So when I mirror my video in Zoom, you know, it's the same picture. It just flipped it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're going to the
Mirrored.
back of the
Yeah.
screen. But probably rather than if they were going to say mirror only affects your preview, they might change that rather than hide myself, say hide my preview, so that you think of what you're seeing in the gallery from you as a preview, but you're actually on the air, so that's probably not as good example.
Yeah, to my mind, I'm in a Zoom meeting. It's not a preview. The preview is the thing that happens before you join, and it says, "Do you want to check out how you look and how you sound and that stuff like that?" That's a preview. This is the real thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I
Because
find it a confusing word.
you know when you're right, when you join the meeting and they have that window that pops up, that's your preview. That's a
Yep.
good point.
Well, you want to add a little more confusion to it. One of the tools that a lot of people use in the Mac world is a little app called Mirror. And
Never heard of it. What does it do?
it turn it on and your camera looks at you like you'd be looking in a mirror. So if you want to see, if not in Zoom meetings, but if you want to, you walk out of it, and so that's a mirror. The interesting thing is the Mirror app, when it does that, doesn't mirror you. So it's, never a dull moment.
Here, I thought you were going to preview as the app that's built into the Mac operating system that replaces the PDF reader. That's preview to me. Hey, you guys want to meet who? My husband just brought him out. Oh, David, I love that look on your face. What the heck? This is not a Zoom meeting. Okay.
Well, we could bring it back to Zoom because
That'd be nice.
have we talked about the OWL camera system?
We've
You're
talked
muted,
about that
David.
years ago, months
That's
ago.
old now. The new one is the Insta one. That's the new hot one. Do you know
Well, the
what
new one does, but OWL has also released some new product that's pretty interesting.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Oh, what did they
Owl
release?
is the one that uses the microphones to tell what direction to point the camera. Is that right?
A lot of them do that, but this is the one that took off where it's looked like an owl, but it had the ability to turn or focus some physical ones, and they had other ones. So it's just a capture camera that was very popular in Zoom conference rooms.
Yeah, so this is the OWL meeting OWL 3, which this is the third version. I have the first. I was never really impressed with. I mean, even just look at even the image on the website. Like that's just not a clear image. I don't know why they would put that up there. Like,
well, they showed at Infocom this year, and they had the company's doing very, very well, and they've expanded their line to traditional bars and stuff. And it's interesting that, as you said, Instant has done a similar sort of thing where they take its Instant camera on top of its speaker. So,
right, the Insta one I find a little more compelling. Insta360.com, and the reason I think it's so compelling is products. Where is it? No, where is it? Video conferencing. Here it is. The Insta360 Wave. So the difference between these two is this guy is, it just sits still. It doesn't, nothing moves. And you've got that 360-degree camera up at the top. That's that little black bump. And then you've got those mics, an array of mics around it. And what it does is it's taking one 360-degree video, and then it's just cropping in. That's what it's doing. What the Insta does, which I think is much more compelling, is you take an Insta 360 link to, it pops on top, and then it literally moves around. So you're not doing any cropping. It's moving.
Does the microphone rotate as well?
No, you don't need to, because this is an array of microphones around the whole thing. But it is doing what you described before, Lois. It's listening, whereas continuity camera, for example, keeps you in frame by looking at the faces. This listens to who's making the most noise, and it will turn around and catch you there. What I like about
what you're pointing out, David, is that the image quality on the Instant Lake is very high quality.
Yeah.
And it's using that and its PTZ capability. In this case, it's even
right. Now,
where the OWL one can only do what it can do, but one of the advantages of it is that, in fact, it's stationary. We have a group that we were looking at that had the OWL. They were thinking of replacing it. We went to this, and they said they don't want to have something that's moving in front of people in a meeting,
which could absolutely be distracting. I get that. Yeah.
That was the city council said no.
Yeah. To me, the real test of this, though, is not actually about the video quality. It's the audio. I found the OWL to be really limited with audio. I only have the OWL, the one. So I'm not.
I think you're suffering from first generation blues.
It might be. It also may be that they almost right away added on a bunch of sort of a way to connect two of them together, and then extension microphones, because the challenge that we found is that it wasn't about space. It wasn't about distance. It's that, I'm used to speaking in front of people, so I know how to project my voice and speak clearly. A lot of people don't. And so if you're at a town hall meeting and you've got, 75-year-old grandma there who doesn't speak very loudly, it is not going to pick her up, no matter where she is. But that's probably a combination of first gen and just physics. But I don't know what this one sounds like, and I'd love to hear it, because I find this one really compelling. If it's really, the crazy thing is, it's not that expensive. It's $300 for this, and if you get the bundle, if you get it with the wavelength with the camera, it's what is it, $500? I mean, if you're using this seriously in your org for meetings and the audio quality is good, that's the thing that I don't know. This is a great deal.
David, a lot of influencers in the gaming community have been given these units, so there are a lot of reviews out there.
Yes,
yeah, listen to audio quality.
Yeah, Senpai has a good review.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I do know about. Yeah.
He also, in full disclosure, I believe that he's a partner of Insta 360. So, I'm not saying that what he says isn't true. It's just so. In any case.
But when he was doing his video, David, you noticed he was actually showing you the difference between when he was talking through his pro mics versus the mics in the actual unit.
Yep, absolutely.
But I think it's just a matter of time. I was at TechCrunch this week, and one of the companies pitching at TechCrunch has a sound sweetening. It's they're from Oslo. Where's Oslo? Oslo, Norway. And they were able to extract the voice of a F1 race car driver sitting in the car, and removing all the race sounds and noise. So it had the ability of pulling a voice out of heavy noise. And I think you're going to see those technologies apply to the example that you just said. And I will not do ageism, but somebody with a voice who is weaker than somebody with a voice who's stronger. And the biggest problem with audio is the reverse, inverse, square. The same thing with light. The further away you get from the microphone, the softer the volume's going to be.
Right. Yep.
And y'all can't have radio voices. Thank you, Lois. We lost Lois, our radio announcer.
Our radio announcer.
I just had to step away for a minute. So I think I missed a bit. John, did you just say there's a microphone that can distinguish between a spoken person and a loud spoken person and adjust for that?
There are a number of products, and particularly this one that was at TechCrunch, which is trying to get venture capital, that takes a voice print and then searches that voice print out of the sound that's there. So,
okay, so this would be in a production situation where you have a voice print of the person.
that's how this one works.
Yeah. Okay.
The way the Sennheiser and the Shure ones work is they have microphone arrays. So then they're able to pinpoint a particular sound and in a room, and then they amplify the sound in that room, and then they provide various acoustic treatment to it. So in our state parks, when we wanted to have divers under the water but not have the breathing noise, we did in fact train the microphones were standard diver microphones, but they had different frequency response. So we had a different microphone for our female divers than our male divers. We didn't have to train, but we did have to get the proper microphone. That came up to a processor that had plugins that filtered the frequency band that the bubbles were in. And then we taught the divers a process of breathing very loud. So they go, ah! And then talking, then talking softly. And essentially we had a gate. So essentially and we had two divers talking, because typically what happened when you had two divers down there, one would be breathing and bubbles would be going out, and the other one would be talking. So the bubbles were overdriving the drivers. So we had to train the crew and the divers so that, they would breathe loud, which would get the gate that would close their microphone. They would speak softly, and we had notched the filters because we had a male and female diver. And it was so good that the aquarium we were working with said, could you feed the bubbles back in, because people think
Little
we're
bit of
faking
bubbles.
it.
We don't believe you.
It sounds, they said it sounds like a Verizon phone call. I said, yeah, that's not that good, but it works. But yeah, no, we had to feed a little bit of bubbles back. I apologize for the Verizon joke.
So, can I go off topic again? I always do this.
I'm sorry, have we been on topic?
So, given what John just said, a person with a soft voice, you have to identify them. Either you have to locate them in the room and make the mic that they're using increase their volume, or you have to train them how to do something or whatever. So if you are just in a place where you've got a random group of people, say there's 30 people sitting in a circle, and one of them over there is just very soft-spoken, and one of them over there is very soft-spoken. Is there anything that will automatically listen and go, oh, that's a soft-spoken voice, I better pump that up? Or, well, now that Lois is talking, I guess we don't have to pump that one up. Is there anything that does that? I'm thinking, no.
I was describing Sennheiser and Shure both have beam forming microphone tiles that by zone will emphasize a particular location and increase the gain for there.
So then someone would need
devices can use to be pointing the cameras. That's different than the product that I was talking about that was at TechCrunch,
right,
which used AI to train to listen for a particular voice. So it's
different. Yeah.
the sort of thing. The example would be if there could be hundreds of kids on a playground and somebody yells "mom," the mother can usually pick that out of all that noise. There's something about the training of the ear of the mother
Yeah.
of their own kid
Yeah.
going there. So that's sort of what the
Right.
TechCrunch one was doing, was training to listen to a voice and emphasize it, where the Shure and the Sennheiser, and there's some other people that do that. All they're doing is making the microphone array be like a shotgun microphone. But the answer, if you wanted to have a meeting with spoken people, you give them a wireless microphone and you hand it to them and they talk, because that's the only way you're really going to get that to work well, particularly in public meetings.
Okay, so if one did that and you pass the microphone around to whoever's going to talk, when someone like me talks, there's not going to need to be any amplification, but when someone who's soft-spoken talks, it needs to do something different than the person next to them. And that making that understanding that there's a difference and that we have to do something about this soft-spoken voice. I haven't heard of anything that will do that automatically. I've only heard of things that there's a human pointing at the person or something like that.
Well, you in a physical meeting, but the basic Zoom client does that. So in your Zoom client, when you set for auto miking, what Zoom does is make sure the level of your audio is consistent, assuming that it has enough level that it can do it. So that everyone here in this room, if we were all on auto, should be at about the same level. But you may notice here, I'm coming in at 27, 28, 29. You were coming in at about minus 17 or 19. So Zoom's ability to control that volume was limited by how you have your mic set, as to whether you're setting to gain or you're letting Zoom set to gain.
Right. And you're right, it's totally different in Zoom than in the physical world. So anyway, I will push my mic further away, so I'm now going to be around 20 instead of 16. Hope that helps.
What else is going on?
Hasmuk's here.
Hasmuk's here?
Yeah.
How you doing, sir? Are you back from your big vacation?
Well, it was shortened, but I am back, yes.
Uh-oh. Why was it shortened? I'm sorry.
I went on vacation at a golf estate and I couldn't play golf. And our apartment...
Hold on. You couldn't play golf because you're not oh, okay.
I tore my ligaments in my shoulder.
Gotcha.
So it was frustrating to have a view of the first fairways and seeing a cart after cart and a golfer after golfer. I couldn't take it anymore, so I just came home.
I'm sorry.
I have a question. We spoke of this bot thing that's called webinar TV that kind of sends a bot into a meeting and makes a private meeting public. I mentioned this to the client today, and I could see an immediate jerk-knee fear in their eyes. And I happened to ramble on, say, look, it could be any online platform, Teams or Zoom or WebEx. I'm not sure if that's very true, but I assume that a bot like that couldn't be just Zoom-centric. They would probably design it in such a way to attend any meeting.
Well, the bot has to go in with somebody's authenticated credentials. So the threat is a threat to anything where in banking, the way they deal with money laundering, it's the concept of know your person. You know, they want to know the identity. You show a card, you have challenge
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
So the protection of this is not going to happen automatically unless there may be some signatures or some things that people know and security thing, but there are now bots that can log in for you just like you have them log in. You're giving that permission of being someone other than yourself
Right.
doing things for you when you let one of those shopping things look at your orders in Amazon and find you other values, and they're going out saying they're you
Yeah.
checking with another vendor. So this is a security issue that has been around for a while, but now with generative AI and agents, now it's becoming more visible.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
did a pretty.
So
Go ahead.
Hasmug, basically what
Mm.
ends up happening is that if the person has um, thought it was a good idea to go get sign up to these bots or it previously gone to these bots, as long as they have access to their personal calendars or their corporate calendars, they will be able to read any of the meetings,
Sure.
Zoom, Teams,
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter,
Pick it up
and
from there.
be able to get the link. And that's how, depending on the system, and of course, with Zoom, 9 times out of 10, the password for getting into the actual Zoom as that person is embedded in the URL, right? So,
Yeah. So I may have done a pretty good job of scaring the heck out of them. So I sort of said, well, they said, well, we want to have this meeting, which is on Tuesday, and we're going to announce our summer specials. So it's kind of not secret, but we don't want to go out to market yet. So I said, well, one of your competition may be in the meeting, and therefore one of the my suggestion is from a security point of view, whoever camera is off, we ask them to switch their cameras on momentarily so we can authenticate that there's a real person in that meeting. So one of the things, just from a security point of view, what I'm doing is obviously they have to be signed into the Zoom account. Step one. Step two was they have to register for the event, and I had a auto approve for the registration. So someone in office hours suggested that I don't switch on auto approve, that we manually approve. Now, if I have 590 people, that's kind of a bit of a challenge. Uh, Unless I have a cut-off time or day by which time they have to register. And here at home, everybody is a digital delinquent, so that's kind of hard to enforce. But I did consider that as an option,
Well,
especially so for my medical events.
yes, and Hasmart, that actually was old school in many ways. So if you remember back in the early days of COVID, there were these events that had 2,000, 3,000 people. And the group working on that did, in fact, require that people attend a half-hour training. And
Hmm.
after they did that, they were put into the auto login. So they knew they talked to that person. And again, something could have
Right.
happened between the day that they
Right.
talked to them.
Yes.
And there's two sort of security issues. I don't know how you scared them. One is to prevent it from the beginning,
Hmm.
make sure.
Yeah.
But then the second is that there are security tools that you can talk to the security and safety people at any of these sites where there could be watermarks put in it. So if somebody attended the meeting and they use that meeting to scrape the content and republish it, you would know who did it. Now, that's
Hmm.
dealing with the horse after the barn left the fire
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
if you have if you scared them to death, you can also tell them that this is not a unique problem. People have deeper and
Yeah.
darker secrets than they do, have been able to figure this out.
Sure, sure. But I've become acutely conscious of security after that webinar TV, because if you give the impression that it's a private meeting and people are able to converse very frankly, and that goes out in public, that could become quite catastrophic, actually.
We all have the danger of a hot mic moment. But again, this is not new. I assume everyone here has gotten an email from somebody who they knew asking for something or doing whatever, and you get to the person and say, was that you? No, they had somehow gotten your email, fished it,
Right,
and sent it out to people. So
right.
this is just happening at this level.
But
Tony, you had your hand up for
Ray
a second.
Harwood. Ray Harwood. Ray Harwood. Wait, I just have to say his name 3 times. Okay.
It works. It works.
Hi, Ray.
Hasmark, let me ask you one quick question.
Yes.
Finish your thing and I'll ask you a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was thinking, is it that unreasonable to, when people join, put them into a green room or waiting room, whatever you want to call it, and momentarily say to them, "Can you switch on your camera so I can it's you before I put you on stage?" That's okay if it's 20 or 30 people, but it's 599 people, and they all come 5 minutes before the meeting. That's a bit of a challenge.
I can tell you we do it with the parks with not 500 people, but when we have events. But first, if you do it regularly, people they know they need to check on earlier. But you can have multiple people letting people in. You have multiple co-hosts. And so we've been able to handle that last minute rush and still have a hand touch.
Gotcha. I thought about that too, yeah. Sorry,
Hasmark, are you using regular webinars or are you using Zoom events or Webinars Plus?
No, I'm just using Zoom meetings.
Zoom meetings, okay. And the reason I ask is because over on the Zoom events side, which you can have a meeting, you can make an allow list of email addresses, and that doesn't get around the problem of I give my credentials to this bot over here, but it at least keeps someone from going, oh, you're a bot, just, here's a link, go in, or register yourself and that sort of stuff. That occurred to me.
Yeah.
And on that, one of the groups we worked with, if you get them to a room and they have to turn something on and feel they're being checked or screened, a little bit like walking through the metal detectors, that's a little scary. So when you're in a lobby, we have lobby events going on. So when we talk to them, we want to introduce you to somebody in the lobby, and so you could have the lobby be a less threatening way, but to identify you're really talking to somebody.
Sure.
So one thing that, and I'm not sure if this can be automated or not, but one thing I was thinking is when you want to verify that someone is who they say they are, you can say, please tell me your email address and compare it to a list. And if it's on the list, then, if there's a human saying that, excuse me, then you can compare it to a list. I don't know if bots would know the email address and be able to reply to you or not. And I also don't know if you can automate taking what they type and comparing it to something. I don't know, but here's a thought.
So one of the options that they're considering, since it's a mobile company, they're engaging the community. That means the staff in about 90 stores. So that's why we have about 500 odd people. And what they're doing is to have a quiz and give out prizes. So one of the suggestions is that if your name comes up as the winner in the quiz and your camera is off, sorry, next, so it is to kind of figure out incentives for people to at least switch on their cameras. Anyway, just a thought.
Ray, how are you?
I'm good. I'm cool.
You're
There's
cool.
a there's a 30-second story behind that. I just had 2 new ACs installed in the last week or so, and it's been brutally hot here in Phoenix. And we weathered through and waited until the prices went down, and there was no big rush. And now we've got 2 brand new AC units instead of 20-year-old things that require maintenance every year and still don't cool very well. So we're good.
There you go. AC is never a bad thing.
Very
Never.
true.
You can always put on more layers. You can't always take off layers. So.
Yep.
What else are people working on? Questions, thoughts, insights?
David, did you actually want to take a look at the 6.6.6 release notes to see if there's anything exciting?
I'm not sure there's much in there, but I have it open. Oh, no, I don't. Sorry. I have the settings open. So release notes. Let's see. Actually, there was an update yesterday also for iOS and Android. They're on 6.6.7. So 6.6.6 is just minor bug fixes. It doesn't even list them. There's nothing here. 6.6.5 is what we went over last week. The redesigned video settings interface, which I don't really think is all that redesigned, but that's okay. The do not automatically end meetings after inactivity button, which I didn't even know was a thing, but apparently it is. What else?
David, one of the bug fixes that were in this latest release, I believe, actually follows up on a community post where someone was using the very thing you described a little earlier, the watermarking feature. Maybe that was John talking about the watermarking feature, and it can basically splay your email address for each user on their screen, so that if anybody does screen scraping, we can identify who did that. And several people have apparently complained, and this one guy made a very good point of it on the community, that in general, we'd like it to be there, but we don't want it to be like 14 lines of 3 different sets of email addresses. A couple is sufficient. And so apparently there was some way to control that before, and then they removed it or something, and they've put that back in. So that's one of the fixes.
Okay, good to know.
So I have another question. Is there a mechanism to display the number of participants in a meeting? What I'm finding is with this event, the talent is often asking, so how many people have joined the meeting? And I know Felipe has almost a number of participants display meter. So as people join the meeting, that display kind of keeps running, and he can visually demonstrate X number of participants in a meeting. We looked at Zoom OSC and see if there's something that can trigger that. But my team found it a little bit challenging in terms of the coding side of it. I'm not sure if anyone has used that kind of option or capability.
I was able to successfully grab the number using Zoom OSC before. It sends it out as an OSC command, and then you just have to use something to display that. So in my case, I was using a Zadora and created a NDI overlay with that information in it.
You happy to share with me exactly how you did that in the Zoom OSC?
Yeah,
if you don't mind?
You just have Zoom OSC running, and then Isadora has to run in the background to pick up that OSC command and create an overlay.
Why
The other
can't you
thing,
just
Hasmuth, is if you look just in the bottom line where participants are, it will give you the number of participants that are currently active.
Yeah. I understand that, but I guess part of the excitement is that if there are gonna be 500 people, and when you launch the meeting and you display this rolling number of folks joining the meeting, it creates some kind of excitement for those who are in the meeting and for the talent as well. That's really where some of the thinking comes from.
So if I
so
were going to add that excitement, I would add Stream Alive to your event and ask the people to put in where they're from, and it will generate a global map and where they are and gives you that number of how they're there. And you can also, with that, have say where they are, and then say like we just heard that it's cold in Phoenix, and then a person can those little pop-ups what they're saying will show next to their location. And Stream Alive, I think, has a demo version that you could go with, or I'm sure if they were going to try to do it. You also then could use that for polls during the whole event. And Stream Alive is pretty impressive. It was the February app of the month for Zoom apps.
so totally low tech. If you look down where it says how many participants there are, make a little screen scrape around that and just let it do its thing and then project it someplace. Maybe put it as um, a little block in the corner of your screen or something like that.
Mm, I
It's
can
not
try
it's not
that.
cool, it's not beautiful. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
math thing. That's
yeah,
really
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Hasmith, it almost sounds like your client is wanting you to add the feature, and I would actually call this to the customer too, as a feature that you want them to add gamification to their meeting.
Exactly.
And that
Yeah.
officially, in my old world of features that I would offer to the client, that would be
But the easy way to do that is Stream Alive. I mean, that's it really is, because it just everything happens in chat.
You could use that. You, in fact, can do exactly what you said in Stream Alive. Is people have to have their camera on. It will do a roulette wheel through all the names of the people, and if your camera's on, then you'll come up. That's also what Philippe does through his custom software. But that's Stream Alive would probably be, if you're not a full member of Philippe's inside the stage, that's probably the best way of doing it.
I've been lured a few times, but I've resisted so far. Um,
You've resisted Stream Alive?
no. Going on to the full-blown program. Because I was looking at and seeing if there's anything new in ZGT, and see if there are things that can support, where you can pick up some of the information that they generally have in Zoom.
the graphic toolkit. Hasmith, I think you can.
Yeah,
I can't see why you couldn't be able to. Now, again, I don't know how much of the live stuff. I haven't been able to play with that. David, I don't know if do you have graphic toolkit running over there?
I do. I don't have it up right now.
Okay.
You cannot get the amount of people that are in the meeting in the graphics toolkit.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
Andy, is that
It sounds like a
running?
good feature request.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a running total? I mean, incremental display?
In OSC, it's just giving you the current amount of people that are there. So you would have to do some other incremental counting in the background with something else.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to. Please authorize your Zoom account on Stream Alive.
Yeah, and Ronnie's actually saying from YouTube, he says counter could probably be solved using Zoom graphics toolkit. Yeah, probably in conjunction with a little bit of it, maybe even graphic toolkit with Isadora. Andy, what do you think?
I don't know how you get the data back into Zoom Toolkit because they don't have a good way. You can create and load assets in there to display like graphics and things, but the data is going to be coming from the API or what they expose, and they do not
Correct.
expose
Right.
that number in there. It's
Mm.
things like polls and chat and Q&A and things, but they don't have the number of participants in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think like Ray says, that's a good request to probably send to the team.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could somehow send like some custom data to it via OSC or something.
I wonder though if so you are Hasbek, are you talking about just displaying the number of people?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, right at the beginning of the show, so if people are streaming in, what's been happening for the last four events, the talent always was, so how many people have joined? How many people have joined? And I did use this description of diligent delinquents, but they want to see all the razzmatazz, so telling them to look at the
Hey, Asma,
participant list is not going to happen.
if you want to send me a chat, if you want to send me a chat message, I can show you with that. Maybe.
Okay, Andy, I'll do that.
Okay.
But to answer David, it's more to try and keep the excitement going. So what I'm going to be doing is to have a larger TV in the studio and use Zoom tiles as well. So as people are joining, then rotate people in and out so they can see people coming in. Yeah, and then this sending message chats about where they are from and which store they are from. So all of those things keeps the excitement. That's really what they're trying to generate.
So, have you played with Stream Alive? Because what you just described, they would do perfectly.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Something to learn.
And the nice thing with the stream, I am not employed by them. I am a user of them. I've advised them, but they have a very robust demonstration. You could go onto their site and you could simulate what that's
Cool.
like.
Cool. I'll have a
So,
look. Yeah.
And I'll add one more quick thing is that they are in the process of integrating it into PowerPoint. And once they have that capability, then the actual tech side of things is reduced, and you can just put it on a PowerPoint screen that you might already be showing. And as you advance slides, you could just sort of see the current count.
Yeah,
One of
I
the
believe.
things that would be really nice is if you have a survey and you list all of the stores that these folks are coming from and have them say, at which store are you from? And click that and then put that into the map situation. And so then they can see who their staff is from that particular store. And that I think might be very exciting for the people involved and useful for the folks who are running it. And they can see,
Yeah.
well, this store only had 2 people come, but this store had 10 people come, you know?
Yeah. So one of the things to do is to get this company to understand the data that we can extract pre, in, and post event. So the idea is that the registration form will request which store they are from. So as the registrations come in, we can send that to the client, and the client can say, okay, how many folks have registered from each of the stores or particular stores, and then they can go and encourage or market or incentivize for more people from the store to join. Obviously, then in the event, pull out all the meeting data and then the post event as well. So I'm trying to kind of demonstrate to them the value of staying on a Zoom environment because of all the uh, pre-meeting fun and excitement that you can create, but also the real data. So my Chat GPT sponsored objective to them was that it's the data analytics and the value you get out of holding these events. And it's not just a fun rah-rah event if it doesn't hit your bottom line.
I hope
Asma,
that
go
they're,
ahead.
I hope that their understanding of the human psyche is such that they are not going to make it a competition between stores as to how many people come, because then you can get,
No, no.
people who register but don't come or whatever. So hopefully there you can, or they can, understand what will be incentive and what will be discouragement.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of context. Uh, they have a team of 24 people that cover the stores, and it takes them 3 months to literally visit all the stores and engage the staff in the stores. And what they found with this approach that we have encouraged them, in 1 hour, they can literally cover 3 months' work. And so that's really the value proposition that they eventually, after 3 years, bought into it. And so it's also when they visit the stores, they can then, okay, we see only 2 out of your 20 people attended the meeting. Is there anything we can do for you? Or is there an issue? Is it a timing issue? So those are it's like a soft sell rather than any, so more incentive-based approach rather than punitive.
Yeah, Hasma, it's starting to sound more and more similar to how our company is structured here at CrossTracks, which is that, again, I've got such a large geographical footprint here in Canada, right? From coast to coast to coast, right? So again, we've got over 400 dealers that my sales team have to go and should be talking to, preferably daily, if not at least weekly, right? And 9 times out of 10, they would do, as it sounds similar to what the sales crew that this company's doing, which is we would go and do what we would call the dog and pony show, which is that now in their case, they probably are bringing new phones or bringing new training to, again, it's a phone related company, right? So in our case, it's, what is our latest and greatest brand that came up with the latest, greatest product that we want to put in front of the dealers so that they can sell it to their customers, right? So it's similar layout. If you and I want to meet and we could talk more about not about how your client should be structured. I know with us, we're using the events platform. I won't go just meeting because of the fact that now I can also archive on the events platform. It gives them a hub, like our company has the events hub. So now if they missed it, they can go see it. And now it becomes a training ground, and then they can brand it, right? So definitely, not that I'm necessarily promoting adding that events hub scenario, but again, if you know that you're going to have, and if they're going to do this often, right? If this is going to be at least monthly, then you might want to look at, as Ray would tell me, he said, Mike, tell them about the 500 events license. And again, this sounds like almost a perfect 500 user event license, again, depending on if 500 is enough, right?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Right. So
Well,
that would be my thought, because again, at least you can brand it. They can
right.
internally point to it. If somebody did miss it, it's there, right? And on top of that too, it keeps it more enclosed. Ray, I don't know,
So
you got any thoughts too to that? Did I miss anything?
Oh, there's plenty you missed, but go ahead, Hasbunk. You got something else?
yeah, what we did is the core of my business is video production. So I have editors can whip up videos fairly quickly. So we've done two things. We create a shorts out of the event so that they can distribute the shorts throughout the organization or the channel. And then we do a kind of summation video for them. So instead of the 1 hour event, we compress it down to 10 or 15 minutes and just uh, present the highlights of the event. So some of the highlights may be being a mobile company, they give away very high-end phones and very entry-level phones. So I know they give out iPhone, the new iPhone 17, and I mean everybody's queuing up to win this prize at this event. So what we do is we include in that clip the person that won that particular phone, so that it kind of creates a and what we've seen is the intra stores and between the stores. What's happening for them is that the stores are beginning to get to know each other because they're independent owned stores. So now it's kind of accidentally or intentional on my part is to build them as a community. So now they share information, even just from a business practice point of view, but they also then communicate post the event. Oh, I see you answered that question correctly. Oh, congratulations, you won that phone. And next time I'll be there to make sure I win the phone. So it just creates a whole lot of vibe.
Sounds great, Hasmak. Getting connection is great. Couple of things that Zoom events can do for you. One of those is that you can create what's called a group join link that includes people who can access it, and they don't even have to register or anything. They use that link and they're permitted. And if they are not a part of that domain name or whatever, they're not permitted. And the other thing that they've done fairly recently, and I have to say I've tried it and it's not great yet, but you know Zoom, they're always working on stuff. They have an AI engine that goes in and reads your transcript of your meeting or event, session, webinar, and creates clips out of AI. AI will actually create clips for you that you can then give to your editing team. No one has to go listen to the entire hour and figure out which ones were really good. Zoom will do some of that for you, and then you can splice in the pieces that you want to include in that. That would be really great.
Is that what you're saying is part of Zoom AI at the moment?
It's part of Zoom events, and they use
events.
AI.
Okay.
They use AI to look at the transcript, and that's the other thing.
Gotcha.
Is I don't know whether your editors. I assume that you're generating a transcript, and then your editors are looking at the transcript to figure out the time codes of when things are actually done, so they don't have to listen to the whole thing.
Correct.
Yep. Cool.
Lois.
Hey guys, I have a situation. Well, this is a totally different subject. All right, and I'm hoping to get some advice on how best to use Zoom to do this. There's a meeting, and it happens in a conference room, and it's in person only. I can't go. So what I want to do is I want to create the easiest way I can do it to have someone take a little laptop computer. I have a MacBook and set it on the table in front of the chair that I would normally be sitting in, open it up, turn it on, and have it automatically join the meeting that I have created at home. So it's a Zoom meeting. I'm managing from home. It's my machine. There's nothing else going on. Is there a way? What's the simplest way so that nobody in the room has to do anything except open it up and, select a button or do something easy? Hey, Tony.
Is there a TV? Is there a TV in the room?
No.
Not a
They would
TV.
be looking at the screen to see my face, and all they would see is my face because the Zoom meeting only has two people in it, me and me.
Isn't
Yeah,
that what a Zoom
I'm
room
sorry.
is for? Like a Zoom room device? Isn't that kind of one?
I don't
button?
know. I've never bought a Zoom room. I'm just
Neither have
having
I.
a meeting.
Yeah. Sorry, Tony. I interrupted you.
No, I was just going to say that if there was a television in the room, then rather than you even taking your laptop, maybe using an Apple TV would be better for them to be able to see you. It would be a larger screen than your
I,
laptop.
yeah, since it'll be sitting on the desk, my head will be the same size as the people in the room. So that won't. What I'm going to send this off with someone who's going to walk in, set it down, turn it on, and walk out. They're not going to be there. Nobody in the meeting has to learn anything, and I can't control it from home. Yes, Ray.
Lois,
Yeah.
first of all, so you just mentioned you're normally at a table, and so this will be sitting up on a table. People could see your face that's on it, correct?
Right.
Because my first fear was you're actually in some chairs and the laptop's going to be at let's say butt level.
No, it'll be.
and okay. So
My butt
here's
won't
what
be
you
in
do.
the chair.
Gotcha. Here's what you do. That laptop, you have it at home at some point,
Yep.
and you log into your Zoom account
Aha. Then all I have to
and
do is open
put
it.
the link there. All they have to do is click the link, and it should do that. The only thing that you really need someone to then do is either, if you want to be able to be heard, actually, you want that laptop to stay muted because you don't. No, you want to hear what's going on there, right?
Yes, and I want to speak to them
Okay.
too.
So you want to unmute them, and then you also want to be able to see them. There's a camera on your laptop. You want it to be able to show the people that are in the room, perhaps? Or do
So
you not care that
if
much about that?
if I just use the camera on the laptop, it will see whatever's across the table from me. That's all it'll see. It'll hear everybody, but it'll only see those faces.
Sure.
If I
But
wanted to, I could add my Link 360 and pop it on the top, and then I could move it around.
Sure. My point really is that there's not just one thing to do, click on the link, is that after it joins, you need them to unmute the microphone so that you at home can hear what's happening in the room. And you need to have them start the video so that you will be able to see what's going there. So those three activities, if you can get somebody just to do those three things, it should work fine.
I own the meeting. I am the host and the owner. I'm at home. The meeting's on. I own it, which means I can go in and unmute and turn on the video of that little computer.
I don't think you can turn the video on. You can't turn the video
on and off.
You can request.
You can request the video be on, but someone would have to answer that request. Hey, when you see the yes no thing up there, click the blue button.
So what about this idea? What about if I'm sitting at home, I've got my machine and I've got the little laptop, I open it up, I join the meeting, so now I have a meeting of two, and then I send the laptop off with somebody to that room, and it's traveling along in the car, it's still in the meeting, and when it gets to the room, and then wouldn't that work? Or would it automatically kill its Zoomness?
Lois, you need to have an internet connection.
Yeah, you're going to lose
obviously.
internet on the way there.
So the what you described, if that computer has been in that room before,
Yeah.
has the internet automatically loading, so you're on it. But if you have the meeting at your house and you leave with the computer and you leave the internet, you've lost that meeting connection.
Okay, so I will. And so when Ray says have a link that you push, you're talking about you're in a browser?
It could be a browser. Just have a it wouldn't even have to be in a browser. It could be in a Word document or anywhere where there's a link that starts the meeting. And when they click that, Zoom will automatically join the meeting. Right? Just like you do if you get an email from someone that says, "Hey, I'm having this meeting, join here." Just somewhere for them to click.
All right. Well, that sounds like it answers my question. Yes, David.
You know what could be even easier is So for example, give me just a moment here. If you go to zoomtestkitchen.com, just by way of example. So this is a simple web page, and I put a button on this web page, which links directly to this meeting. So no one has to know the password there. They literally just click this button. I'm wondering if you put an iPad with just sort of a static web page with a big old blue button in the middle that says, come on in, or something like that. And they click that, and then they're just in the meeting and you set up your meetings so that they're unmuted upon entry and video is turned on upon entry.
Okay. But I wouldn't use an iPad because I wouldn't be able to see anything. I'd just be seeing ceiling fans, and I want to see the.
Well, no, you put it in a little stand.
I know, but if I just have them open it up and click the button on the middle of that screen.
Well, you can do the same thing.
You take the I mean, you could do the same thing with a laptop. I'm saying you take the iPad, put it on a stand. Like I have a little stand that sits on the table, and it's there. They don't open anything up. It's just there, and they just.
And if you have a Word document, you could just open up the Word document and have that open on the laptop. And the Word document says, thank you very much for helping me out. Number 1, please click the link here. Number 2, make sure that the, blah, 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 blah. And David's right. You actually could set attendees in that meeting to have automatically turn on their video and automatically unmute.
Yeah, I'll just create a new meeting, a new separate meeting for this particular activity, and that'll be good. Okay, so thank you for your.
If I could just say, I agree with David as far as the iPad is concerned, because you can get a stand for $30 or less, and I'm using, actually I have 2 iPads next to me. Well, one's here, one's here, and I don't think I paid more than $30 for each of the stands, and they're both quality. They can go up as high as 6 feet, and that might be a better solution than taking your laptop.
So I have an excess laptop. When my brother died, I inherited his. It's old, but it's there, and the screen is bigger than an iPad screen, and I don't have an iPad screen that iPad that I want to use for this, and I don't want to go and buy anything. So, I think I'll try it with the laptop. But maybe your idea of a stand is good in that if I get something that is at the right angle, and I can figure out what the angle is, I can send the thing and say put it in this, and that will make it be the right angle to see the room rather than the.
And unless the other thing that I think would be helpful is when this person comes by to pick it up, ask them to come a few minutes early, and then just set the laptop up next to you and say, okay, here's all you have to do. I'm going to let you do it and see how it works. And that way they'll be comfortable when they get there and know what to do.
Yeah. So I think it is doable. And given what y'all have said, I think it is something that I could send my laptop somewhere to some place, some town, something that I wanted to be in part of that meeting, and set it up so you push the button, and there you go.
Yeah, the one point somebody mentioned though is that you need to have joined the internet there with that laptop before, so that it does it automatically. That's the one step that you
Does an iPad have an internet connection built into itself?
Well, you can get an iPad that has a cellular connection and doesn't need to hook up to somebody's Wi-Fi. But anything that's going to use
if I end up doing this a lot, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry, I got excited.
Then you have to pay but then you have to pay a cellular bill each month. So just be aware of that. If you're getting an iPad with cell service, it's like having another phone. It's another $30 a month.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
And I apologize for yelling. I got excited and I got 14 again.
Ray is what she's describing, the kind of one button push experience. Isn't that kind of Zoom Rooms? What Zoom Rooms devices are all about? In
Well,
some ways.
yes, but she's trying to keep the solution simple
Oh no,
and just drop
absolutely.
it
I was just
in.
asking.
But yes and no.
Okay.
Zoom Rooms on a corporate level really is designed to do a lot of that sort of stuff that people can just wander into the room and the camera picks and goes, oh, David's over here and Mike's over here and Ray's over there, and I'm going to do that. And the other cool thing that they've done recently is this voice print thing. So when you walk into a Zoom room, it analyzes your voice and goes, I didn't know who that was when he walked in, but now that he's spoken, I know who that is, and that sort of thing. That's actually pretty cool to me. It's the personal Zoom Rooms piece that I've not played with yet that allows you to use your iPad really as a one person Zoom room, and that could be a solution, but I have not dived into dived into that enough to know.
Yeah.
Dabbled?
Dabbled.
Not
Yeah.
dabbled.
There you
There's
go.
been dabble equals 0 in this equation. Yeah.
Submerged.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right. Tony, what's up?
So this is kind of like what Lois was talking about. We had an experience last night in the worship service. We had our regular normal Zoom, and then we had 7 people join us in the Zoom meeting worship service on a laptop, and there were 7 of them, and they did their best they could as far as getting closer together and all of that. My concern was not so much that as it was the internet connection that just kept dropping. Because one of the people of the 7 that was on the laptop was actually teaching the lesson last night. And so from time to time they would drop out. I was trying to figure out a solution for that situation. And my thought was that we might see if because it was a senior citizens, they were in the clubhouse of the senior citizens place. And so I wanted to see if there was a way to I made an assumption that, and I didn't recognize it until after we started the worship service, that the internet kept breaking up. And I was thinking when it was happening that the person who had the laptop was using the Wi-Fi from their unit in the clubhouse. And that was the reason why it was, breaking. I know that we don't use, we always use wired connections. I know all of that, but this is real world, and this is regular people. And I just give you the scenario. We had the youngest person in the room was 67, and the oldest person in the room was 92. So we're not going to get, all the bells and whistles and bring in all the technology.
You don't want them to be using Zoom OSC and Zoom ISO and stuff? Is that what you're saying, Tony?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So Tony, I have been in a similar situation. Our senior center is a wonderful place, but it has a connection, and they'll give you the login name so you can get on and their Wi-Fi and everything. But you never know how many other people in the building are using the same Wi-Fi. So what we did when things were getting a little fritzy is we said, okay, who in the room has an iPhone? I do. All right, turn on your hotspot and tell us the passcode, and we will use your hotspot for the connection to the internet. And that works really well as long as your phone is getting good reception. So I don't know if one can do that using an Android, but if you've got an iPhone around, that's an excellent way to stabilize your connection.
So Tony, what was happening? Were you getting, so there was too many people on the one connection from the location?
He
Is that your
doesn't know.
I'm not sure. The broadband indicator kept popping up. It kept popping up from the standpoint that when the individual was teaching, we got a yellow signal on their box, and it was indicating that there was broadband issue, and they dropped out a couple of times totally, and they came back. When they came back usually pretty strong, and that lasted for a little while, and then they would drop out again. So I think that it would have been a really good experience had it not been, the dropping out.
Do you know, have you ever heard of Speedify, Tony?
No, I haven't.
So Speedify is it's an app. I believe it's an app that basically it fixes slow and unreliable internet. So what it'll do is it'll take, if you're wired in or if you've got Wi-Fi and you can use your phone's cell service and like whatever you've got available, you can bond all of those together. And so it basically, it'll take multiple internet sources and make it into a single, faster, better connection. And it also will prioritize video calls over, other stuff, background syncing and stuff like that. I haven't used it myself. I know a lot of people who do use it, and they swear by it. So you don't have to buy any new device. The beautiful thing about this is you don't have to buy anything new. It just will use whatever devices you have, your phone's internet connection, your Wi-Fi, all that other stuff.
And David, you see who's on that list right beside you there, right?
I do.
Top of the list.
Yeah.
Right there.
Zoomala. Yeah. And I know of it because Ecamm Live uses it. A lot of people in Ecamm Live use this.
Yeah, it's quite popular to be used from the person that is streaming out to, let's say, a YouTube or a Facebook,
Right.
or even to a Zoom, right? Now and then yes, they do actually have the physical units as well now, David. That's
Yeah,
what you
I
just
saw
saw
that. Yeah.
Now again, Tony, so this would be good for your person that you're concerned about, that is the host, right? What David is showing. Right. So that's important in that regards, that at least then they have the capability of either using Wi-Fi locally or using speed. So basically Speedify, what it actually does in a very short and quick, non-technical version of it, it decides what is the best internet connection that the phone has. And it then uses that connection to send its data out of the phone. So that's the easiest without getting too technical in that regards. So as long as you tell it that it has access to your 4G, 5G data, and it also has access to your Wi-Fi, that it will then choose what it actually will use. It'll prioritize over the other. So it's basically, in the networking terminology, we call it, it'd either be like a fail. It's not really, you can have it set up multiple different ways where it's a failover, where all of a sudden, if it notices Wi-Fi is bad, it'll automatically go to your 4G. And there's other ones that will, there's another mode that it'll actually detect, okay, now Wi-Fi is better. I don't have to send out 4G. Now, 4G is better now, Wi-Fi is bad. And it does this constant checking. And sometimes it'll actually send it out both. But again, of course, depending on your data plan with your cell phone, of course, it'll use a lot of data. So that is also something to take into consideration.
This is a monthly subscription thing. If it's going to be for a computer that you are using all the time, then that might be reasonable. If it's somebody who's going to be coming to your meeting once or twice, they're probably not going to want to sign up for a subscription, download an app, learn how to use it. So that may or may not be useful in the situation that you described. I have a question for you, Tony. Is the person whose computer was being used, do they often or always have trouble? I'm thinking that there could be something in the computer that is, yeah, getting overstressed and taking a nap and, whatever. So, so that would be a question to them is, do they often have this problem?
So this is this is kind of funny and amazing at the same time. And I'm not trying to do an evangelism thing, but these individuals have been participating over the last 2 months, primarily, most of the summer, and they would be sitting outside of the person whose laptop's apartment or unit.
Mm-hmm.
They would be sitting in chairs outside. And so I was trying to get ahead of this. I mentioned it several weeks ago to the leadership of the church that we needed to try to get ahead of this when the individuals had to move inside because the weather was going to change. And it was kind of funny that, it was kind of like at the last minute because the weather was a little bit cooler here in Georgia. So they moved inside. But they had been participating for over the last 2 months consistently.
And their
And
computer worked fine. Yes?
I'm going to say that they weren't on camera as much as they were last night.
Uh-huh.
So I think that has something to do with it too. It was kind of like every now and then we would see images, but we basically more heard them more than saw them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was absolutely amazing that this age group of people wanted to do that.
Yeah.
And so like I said, we were trying to get ahead of it and try to see what if there was. We didn't even know if there was a clubhouse, but in fact there was. And so and I'm just wondering, I have a lot of questions. Does the facility or the place actually have built-in Wi-Fi for the residents, and those kinds of things? But it's difficult to, because it's 120 miles away from where I live. So I'm not able to go there and make an assessment or anything like that.
Yeah.
And the people who would be able to make that probably don't know the right questions to ask.
So
So that's the dilemma.
thinking about what you're describing there, and aside from the problem you had the other night, I'm wondering if the Zoom account that they are using is an account that they would trust you to give you the password to.
Well,
And
it's the
and you
church's
could,
account.
yeah, okay.
It's
But
it belongs to the church. So
okay. So
the
if you took
go ahead. I'm sorry.
if you took them, got them all scrunched together in the distance, smiling, and you take a picture of that from one of your Zoom meetings, just capture a screenshot of it, and then take that and make it the icon that shows when their camera's off. And then if someone's going to speak, one of them's going to speak, the person who's going to speak can sit right in front of the camera, turn the camera on while they're speaking. And so you wouldn't use as much camera, but you'd still see who it was that was present. I don't know. I like to look at faces.
I do too. But thank you, David, and thank you everybody for your comments. I'm trying to have a meeting with leadership this evening, and hopefully we can come to some resolution to resolving this before next Thursday. Because the weather is not going to get any better anytime soon. It wasn't really that bad, but I think it was appropriate to be inside.
And if this is the church's gear, you might.
No, it's not. It's not the church's gear. The Zoom meeting belongs to the church, but the person who basically organized all of the individuals in the complex is just the brother of one of the leadership members.
So aren't they using their own Zoom to get on to the meeting?
No, they connected to the church's Zoom. They
signed in as the church.
They signed in as a participant.
Yes, and did the participant have their own Zoom account?
I'm pretty sure they don't.
Tony, two suggestions is the easiest way, and it sounds like you did do it this way, but I'm assuming they have, gathering rooms within the building. And to basically,
well, there's one for sure. There's one.
Right. Now what I would do is I would actually bring in Zoom equipment, and let's be loose about that. It'd be a laptop or a PC, hook it up to a big TV that has a camera on top of it. A lot of this was done during COVID, as a matter of fact. And I've helped some other companies that actually were using roving AV gear that basically it would be like a monitor, and chances are the facility already has this, even a projector in that room, that you would just hook up that laptop to that television or projector in the room, just bring an extra camera should you want people to be able to see all the people in the room back to the host, and then do it that way. So and I'll give you an example of one of the companies that I helped that was related to during COVID. A lot of funeral homes, of course, were not allowing people into the actual funeral homes. So they were doing the full production of the funeral within the funeral home, but they also had times where they were allowed to have a reception in a larger venue where they had it was designated that they were able to stay apart enough that they were allowed to be together. But what they ended up doing was, because there were so many people that could not travel because of COVID, they set up this little kiosk, and let's call it a kiosk, that basically had a monitor on the top. So it had a monitor on a stand that was on wheels, and it was a computer that hooked up to the monitor. And on top of the monitor, they just put a camera. So that so you could, from wherever you are in the world, now be able to participate as if you're at the reception of the funeral. Right? So that would be an example. So in your case, it being that type of where they would have maybe some sort of room of sorts where they go to exercise, or some sort of community room of some sort, is to find out if they have a TV in there, and if it has hopefully a wired connection in that room, so that you're doing one connection into that room, and then it's one connection back to the Zoom room. Because what will end up happening is that if you have like 5, maybe 10, maybe 15 of the people within the same building connecting, you could use up, depending on their internet connection leaving the building, you could actually be oversaturating that network, and between them and Zoom. And this is where corporations have gone that one step further, because they started noticing, if I have a couple of hundred employees that are all on a Zoom call, that they're all connecting to Zoom servers through their main connection out of the building, right? And what Zoom has come up with, which I'm not suggesting to you, but it is a product up there called Zoom Hub, And what that happens is they will put a local, shall we call it Zoom server for lack of technology, within the building so that everybody connects to it instead of connecting to through the internet connection. So I know that we're not going down that road, but the easiest way that I suggest is that to set up in a room where you bring all the people into that one room. And this happens quite often with all the different, even the churches that I deal with up here in Canada, is that a lot of the senior citizen buildings, they'll have a room where they'll all go to that room and partake in services via Zoom being brought in, but it's brought in either via laptop or one PC to a television, and everybody gets to hear it through the sound system that's in that room. Now, the other scenario that you could do, which is a little more technical, depending on the senior citizen location, is that some of the churches have actually asked the senior citizen location to be able to, in their internal television network that they've got going to each individual room, is that they've actually incorporated that PC instead of it going to the monitor in the gathering location, is they will actually make a dedicated television channel within the building so that anytime there was any church related event, they knew to turn to channel, let's say 95 on their remote within their room, and they could actually tune in to see services for that day.
Got it.
Those are a couple of different, and now again, this is for locations that have multiple potential of, 10, 15, 20, even more that may be partaking in the actual service. Because you're bringing in again to one location, you only need one bandwidth to Zoom, and then they distribute it how they want to distribute it within once it gets in the building. And that has been the two different situations where they initially started it in a room where everybody, gathered, and then it was just on the television. Then there were some people, as they got older, of course, they were bedridden, that still wanted to partake, but obviously needed to either be wheeled down or were not feeling well enough to partake, but still wanted to see. And it got to the point where they were like, okay, so what technology do we actually need internally within the building, within the wiring that they've got, to be able to, if they know how to turn on a TV and they can watch TV, now you're getting as simple as bringing the audio and video from Zoom, even through screen scraping, them bringing that one screen in, and then just being within the actual physical television system within their building. You just tell them to tune into channel whatever that they designate, and anytime you guys are broadcasting, they know that they can tune in and something will be there.
The only thing is that won't work in this particular situation because there's just not the resources there. As you were talking about it, what I was thinking was maybe if there is a television in that room, maybe adding an Apple TV to it, and then because you can connect to Zoom through an Apple TV, that might be a way to do it. Maybe connecting the laptop to the television if there's a television there. That's another way to go.
Or again, whatever has a way of bringing the HDMI out of it into the TV, you're fine.
Yeah,
because you could always use the speakers within the TV as well, as long as it's loud enough for the room.
Yeah, I guess the thing that I really want to stress is that there is no budget for this, and if anything is going to be done, it's going to be me donating it, and I'm just not in a position right now where I can even donate anything to make this work. But I do want to improve the quality of the experience for those people that are in the room, because I didn't mention this, but there were 3 people in wheelchairs, and so this is an audience that we do not want to disregard, and we want to make sure that it's as positive an experience as it can be.
Yeah, Tony, I love the Apple TV idea. I love that because again, that easily could down the road migrate the Apple TV box to their internal TV system too. I do like that idea quite a bit.
So it sounds like the thing that I was talking about earlier, a bunch of people in the library, and then I get to be one of the faces on the table there.
Mhm.
That might actually be useful in the situation you're talking about, because they can all be around and hear everything, and they'll be able to see the screen, even though it's not huge, but it's close to them. And if there is someone who's going to be teaching, they can sit immediately across from the TV, so they'll be as visible as possible. So that might actually work pretty well. If one had enough resources, and I know you don't right now, but there's ways of putting out a call for resources. If you could get a PTZ camera, I have this little Link 360. It would be available, and someone not in that room could be moving the camera, because you can control a camera from someplace other than in the room in which the camera exists. And once you've given that control over to someone, and I think, I'm not sure, but I think that the host can, when a meeting is set up, that the host can set it up so that that is controllable without any extra effort by the people in the room. I know if the people in the room know what they're doing, you can definitely do it. But I'm thinking that maybe Zoom has something where you can assign that, like you can assign the host to mute and unmute you. It's something you have to agree to at some point, but then the host can mute and unmute. So anyway, I don't know how much things cost these days. I've been looking at microphones and supplies for a different project, and the Yeti Nano that I use, there is a sale on B&H for $100 for a new one, and they have a refurbished one, a used one for $70. So I'm going to my meeting and going, man, this will never get cheaper than this, and it's a good mic. But I don't know if such a thing. I haven't done any research, but you might find a PTZ that's, could check the B&H website and see if they've got a used one. You could call their phone number and talk to Zach. He was very, very helpful. They have experts that talk to you about things. It's wonderful.
Well, the other side of this too is that the church is in the process of building a new building, and so there is not going to be a lot of investment in this from the standpoint of it. If it's not something that could possibly be used in the church setting down the line, then they probably won't be interested in doing it. Although,
but there's seven people who need something. Are they going to stop needing it just because the church is building a new church?
No. The plan is to continue to have virtual participants in the worship service, even once the building is built. But again, because of the mindset, it's going to be building first right now, because we've been doing virtual now for 5 years. So there's a urgency in the minds of the leadership to be in the building. So but there is also, it's been stated, and then it's in all the workings that we plan to continue the virtual services. So that that's kind of a tricky thing right now because it's about getting into the building right now. So,
Well, I hope that
but
you
I
will,
think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I hope that you will continue to offer a merged meeting so that the people at a distance who can't get there or who don't want to get there still have access to your church services. And
Yeah,
that is so
I
important.
I think it's valuable because, like I said, there were three individuals. The person whose laptop it was in a wheelchair, and then the 92-year-old was in a wheelchair, and then there was another individual. I don't know how old she was that was in a wheelchair. So, you know, on a Thursday night, the likelihood of them, getting in a car and going to the
At
house of
night?
worship,
No.
even if it was built, is unlikely. And
And the
and
other
so
thing, Mhm.
and so, like I said, that we have people that are coming in from not, you know, if it's a special event, we might have people coming in from other places throughout the country.
Mhm.
But for the most part, on a regular basis, it's people throughout the state of Georgia.
Right.
And so if you end the virtual services, those individuals who support the church virtually will be left out.
That's right.
And so
When
the church, as I said, the church is 120 miles away from me, and I'll be frankly transparent that I'm not going to be able to be there once the building is built. No, every day. I mean, every Sunday, because I'm just not physically able to be there every worship experience.
when you
And
are
so,
talking to those people, um, please bring to their attention that there may be people, such as myself, who are physically able to get up and walk around, physically able to drive. I'm not going to last very long in a church setting, but I could get there. But I don't want to get there because when I'm on Zoom, I can hear everybody. I can turn the sound up till it shakes the rafters, but I can hear everybody. And so for people who have less than perfect hearing, a Zoom experience can be more meaningful than being in a room where people are talking across the way and you can see their mouth moving, but you have no idea what they're saying. So don't give up on us. Keep your Zoom going.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And
thank you both,
yeah, of
and
course, Tony.
thank you, Zoom Test Kitchen.
You
See you
got it.
later. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Tony.
Bye, Mike.
Yeah, take care. All right. So everybody's leaving me by myself. All right.
Well,
That's
you
good.
can sit there and talk to the meters.
I'll talk to them. Yeah, that's Hasbugly doing that to me. But yeah, no, Tony. One quick thing, which Lois is talking about, is that too. A lot of houses of worship are looking into assisted hearing gear as well, which means that you're broadcasting over a certain frequency within the church into their earpieces, right?
And I have done a lot of research. Our IT committee met yesterday and we had a request for people who wanted to hear people speaking in the room. And so I did a lot of research and it's going to be $1,000 for count them, two people to use it. And for every additional person, it'll be $143 to buy the gear that they need because you only need one transmitter, but you each have to have your own little shirt pocket receiver and then the thing that is right there going into
Mhm.
your. So
Yep.
if you need the research, I got it.
Yeah. So again, Tony, that is quite popular in the house of worship market as well. Is that now taking into consideration the age of your of your congregation? Again, if everybody has hearing impairment in one way or another, then you have to accommodate all of that as well within the building. Right. That because again, that's going to discourage people from coming, like Lois was saying, where they can stay at home and turn it up as loud as they want, and it's not disturbing anybody else around them. Where if they're actually physically at the church, they may or may not even hear people properly that are talking, coming out of the sound system, because they're hearing the people within a foot, if not 2 feet around them, talking more than they're actually hearing the pastor speaking, preaching at the front.
Well, I want to thank you both. I'm actually preparing for the meeting. We're going to have it in less than an hour, so I'm happy that we had this conversation. And
Good
I wish you luck.
Yes, real fresh. So.
Yes, Tony, I wish you luck as usual because of our past conversations. So I don't need to say any more, but good luck to you, sir. You need
All right,
it.
thank you. Take care.
You got it. Take care, Tony.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Tony. All right. On that note, unless anybody else wants to join me on as a panelist, yes, I am all by my lonesome now. So I guess we'll wrap it up for this spooktacular, as everybody's been watching in when I actually fade this out here. So you'll see that, yes, I got the memo from David that I wanted to make sure that I had a Halloween theme. Yeah, look out. Oh, there's that skeleton hand going down there. All right, cool. That's my background behind my ATEM keyed in video there. So you get to see that. So if anybody does have any questions for me specifically, I'll be here for a few more seconds before we wrap it up for this week's Zoom Test Kitchen. All right. On that note, actually, as I'm doing this, I'm actually wondering if there's actually any spooktacular, any Halloween themed music in the music app, actually. So I'm just actually doing a quick little search here because I'm curious to see if there's actually anything in there. Let me see what we got here. All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up for this week. All right. And I'm seeing people saying goodbye to me on YouTube, so I will definitely wrap it up. So enjoy our theme, and I'll see you, and enjoy the karaoke.
Welcome to the Zoom Test Kitchen, where the magic happens live. Every Friday we're on air, testing tech to thrive. From screen share to breakout rooms, we push Zoom to its max. So sit back, relax, and let's see what's in our tech hacks. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. We'll dive into the settings, explore every single tab. Make sure your mic is clear, your camera not a drab. We'll show you how to host like a pro, manage like a king. With Zoom Test Kitchen, you'll be zooming with a zing. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. Whether you're new to Zoom or an expert in disguise, we've got tips and tricks, we'll open up your eyes. From polls to quizzes, we test functionalities. Join us live, see what Zoom does with these. So if your meetings lag, or you can't share your screen, or if your audio echoes like you're stuck in between, we've got solutions, we'll show you how it's done. Zoom Test Kitchen, where Zoom fun has begun. Zooming in, we're testing it all. Live on YouTube each week. From audio to video, no feature we won't tweak. We're the Zoom Test Kitchen crew, here to innovate. Join the fun, learn the tech, don't be late. So tune in, don't miss out on this tech fest we lead. Every Friday, Zoom Test Kitchen, where you'll succeed. We'll make your Zoom meeting smooth.
All right. No wreck. Got your back. We do here at the Zoom Test Kitchen. Thanks everyone for joining us this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to let YouTube know how much you like our content. Don't forget everyone on the Zoom Test Kitchen community that we're here every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. And if you're going to be celebrating Halloween, have a spectacular night. See everyone next week here for another edition of the Zoom Test Kitchen. Take care, YouTube. Now off to the spectacular living room.